2016, over 65 million people around the world were forced from their homes by violence and persecution. This includes over 11 million people from Syria. What would you do if you were one of those people? Imagine waking up, forced to flee, with only the clothes on your back, and not knowing when or if you would ever see your family again. While unimaginable to most of us, it is the reality of countless others around the world. Andrea Northwood, Director of Client Services at the Center for Victims of Torture, and I co-wrote this article to provide therapists unfamiliar with the devastating effects of displacement and asylum with a point of reference. My name is Demir Ertzen. I'm a licensed associate marriage and family therapist and doctoral candidate in the Department of Family Social Science at the University of Minnesota. I completed my doctoral internship at the Center for Victims of Torture, an international non-governmental organization that provides direct services to survivors of politically sanctioned torture. I am also a refugee. I was born in the former Yugoslavia to a Bosnian Muslim mother and a Serbian Orthodox father. Interethnic conflict forced us to flee and seek asylum in Germany and subsequently the United States. People navigating asylum in the United States experience unimaginable loss. Their loss cuts across multiple domains of functioning. It is not isolated to intellectual ability, attention or concentration, memory, or processing. And while their functioning often improves after being granted asylum, the majority of applicants wait from 181 to over 731 days for a decision. For people displaced by violence and persecution, seeking to rebuild their lives in the United States, this backlog represents not only a complete absence of information over their national identity, but also uncertainty over their fate. While ambiguous loss theory has been applied to various contexts such as acts of terrorism, military deployment, and chronic illness, to our knowledge, it has not been applied to the asylum process. An asylum seeker, or asylee, is a person who left their country in fear of persecution and is seeking protection in another country. Asylum seekers experience frustration on a daily basis. Since clients are often unable to work or study immediately upon arrival, early stages of therapy should focus on building structure and relational support. This is critical because displacement is characterized by an absence of structure, and persecution instills an inherent sense of mistrust. Regardless of a client's perception or history, the asylum decision is determined by the federal government. Because there is no decision timeline for being granted asylum, subsequent stages of therapy should temper clients' needs for mastery. This entails clarifying and validating that they have done everything they could have. The most challenging and important part of therapy is identity reconstruction. Telephone or internet conversations with friends or family during session can facilitate this process. And revisiting attachments amidst the chaos of displacement enables clients to hold doubt and uncertainty at the same time. Being able to do this, holding two opposing emotions at the same time, is critical to recovery. Given the increase in anti-refugee sentiment and Islamophobia in the United States, therapy should also normalize ambivalence. Similarly, therapy should encourage hope because it is sometimes the only thing that keeps clients going as they learn to cope with uncertainty. Therapists should also validate rather than minimize or altogether miss the ambiguous loss that clients experience navigating asylum in the United States. The challenge is to increase not only the client's tolerance of ambiguity and uncertainty, but also the therapist. Using ambiguous loss theory as an organizing framework when working with clients displaced by violence and persecution provides structure to an inherently unstructured process.